Hong Kongers to brace for Typhoon signal number 8 as Tapa nears. Good news for ticket holders of the failed hot air balloon fest as they can now get a full refund. And Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba resigns weeks after election debacle. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Cheryl Yun. Hong Kongers are given a heads up to brace for some stormy weather as the observatory alerted that the number 8 typhoon warning signal will be issued at 9:20 p.m. and will be in force at least until 11 tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, the Education Bureau announced that all day schools will be suspended tomorrow.
Typhoon is expected to skirt within 200 kilometers southwest of Hong Kong around sunrise tomorrow. It will then make landfall over western Guangdong. The gale or storm signal number 8 will remain in force at least until 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Locally, there will be squally heavy showers and thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. Seas will be very rough with swells. You are advised to stay away from the shoreline and not to engage in water sports.
The weather forecaster also cautioned that low-lying areas may expect flooding due to storm surge. It will still be showery on Tuesday. Showers will ease off and it will become very hot in the middle and latter parts of this week. Meanwhile, the International Hot Air Balloon Festival at Central Harbourfront has cancelled all remaining activities because of typhoon. The organizers have announced full refunds for all tickets following controversy over the event's arrangements. So far, the Consumer Council has received 263 complaints related to the event, totaling over $270,000. On the final day of the 4-day event, organizers cancelled all remaining activities due to an approaching typhoon. The day's program was originally set to include hot air balloon displays, light shows, motorcycle stunts, and live music. The festival had already faced heated controversy and public complaints after failing to obtain permission to carry passengers aloft. In a statement, the organizers acknowledged that the customer experience fell short of public expectations. They have decided to offer full refunds for all festival tickets and issued a renewed apology. Customers can apply for refunds via email or a dedicated hotline starting Tuesday, with the application window open for 30 days. Refunds are expected to be made before November 7th. As the Chinese old saying goes, water symbolized wealth. Racegoers certainly did not mind flocking to Sha-Tin Racecourse and trying their luck under a number 3 typhoon signal as the new horse racing season kicked off. Jeremy Zhu has more.
Persistent showers brought by the typhoon failed to dampen racing fans' enthusiasm. Long queues had already formed at the entrances well before the gates officially opened. Alongside local racegoers, a significant number of visitors and non-local students were also spotted in the crowds. This mainland student described her excitement at experiencing the unique horse racing culture firsthand. She said the rain did nothing to dampen her spirits. In fact, she felt it could make the horses more energetic. Chief Executive John Lee struck the ceremonial gong at around noon to mark the opening of the new season, accompanied by the Jockey Club's new chairman, Martin Liao. Following the ceremony was today's 10 races, with punters eagerly following the action, undeterred by the wet weather. The highlight of the day was the HKSAR Chief Executives Cup, which was won once again by the reigning horse king, Ka Ying Rising. The city leader presented the trophies to trainer David Hayes and jockey Zach Purton in the winner's enclosure. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Under a typhoon warning, the city held a by-election for the subsectors of the election committee today, which will pave the way for December's legislative polls. Around 3,540 people cast their vote, putting the turnout at 97%. Jamie Liu reports.
After polls closed at 6 p.m., boxes of ballots from 5 voting stations began arriving in the central counting station at the Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai. Today's vote focuses on the 1,500-strong election committee, which is comprised of 40 subsectors under 5 sectors with 3 types of members: appointed, ex officio, and elected. Of the 967 elected EC members, the by-election this time will fill 93 vacancies, with only 21 spots up for contest, as the rest has been decided without competition. These people will be responsible for electing 40 members to the Legislative Council on December 7th. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Residents are urged to be highly vigilant when receiving calls from unknown sources, as police have arrested a 19-year-old mainland man reported to be a university student in connection with 3 phone scams involving impersonation of government officials. The total amount involved exceeds $8 million. The suspect allegedly posed as a special investigative officer between April and August this year, accusing 3 female victims, aged between 25 and 82, of money laundering and other offenses. He then demanded they transfer security deposits to prove their innocence. According to Senior Inspector Leung King Man from the Eastern Police District, after deceiving funds, fraudsters nowadays would further lure victims into participating in so-called special operations, falsely claiming they could recover their losses upon completing certain tasks. The officer emphasized that anyone who knowingly assists scammers in criminal activities, even if initially a victim, may also be held legally liable. Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has decided to step down after just nearly a year in office, paving the way for a new leader. The embattled leader said his resignation meant to avoid decisive split in the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. Jamie Liu reports.
In a press conference this afternoon, Ishiba said he made a difficult decision to step down as LDP president, as causing division in his party is not his intention. He admitted his biggest regret was failing to restore public trust in the LDP after the fundraising scandal that has loomed over the party since late 2023. He warned that if the LDP remains the same in the public's eye, there would be no tomorrow for the party. The Prime Minister also believed this is the appropriate timing to leave the post, as Japan has reached a trade agreement with the US. Ishiba edged into power in October last year on the 5th try for LDP presidency, but has struggled to secure support. Since then, the LDP-led ruling coalition has lost its majority in national polls for both houses of parliament, the first time in 70 years. Despite the latest election defeat in July this year, the 68-year-old politician had vowed to stay on, sparking backlash even among his allies. Following his resignation announcement, Ishiba instructed the LDP to hold an emergency leadership race. He will continue his duties until his successor is elected and promised to stay out of the upcoming contest. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Mainland's actress Shin Ji-lei won the Best Actress award at the Venice Film Festival.
Shin Ji-lei for the film The Sun Rises on Us All.
The 39-year-old mainland star was handed the Golden Lion Trophy by acclaimed Chinese actress Zhao Tao, a member of this year's international jury. Shin played the lead role in director Tai Shangjun's Tragic Romance, a film about 2 ex-lovers burdened by sacrifice and guilt, whose encounter fails to find redemption and ends in tragedy. In her acceptance speech, she thanked the film's crew and encouraged young girls to chase their dreams. Born in northeast China's Heilongjiang province, Shin is also known for her roles in Blossom's Shanghai and Ru Yi's Royal Love in the Palace. Thousands of protesters have marched across Washington, D.C. in one of the largest demonstrations against U.S. President Donald Trump's federal takeover of policing in the Capitol. Meanwhile, demonstrations erupted in Chicago ahead of a federal immigration crackdown suggested by the president. Jeremy Zhu reports.
In Washington, D.C., protesters chanting slogans and holding banners marched over 3 kilometers near the White House, demanding an end to federal control over the district.
That is not constitutional. It's inhumane. It's horrible. It's horrifying. And no, that should not be happening. That should be stopped.
It's not just the immigrant community. It's everybody who's just really worried about what the future holds, especially when you have an administration that doesn't abide by the rule of law.
Trump announced the federal takeover of the D.C. police force last month, citing the need to restore law and order, and deployed National Guard troops to the Capitol. The 30-day temporary jurisdiction is due to expire on Wednesday, but the White House has previously stated it does not rule out an extension.
Donald Trump, you stupid clown!
Over 1,000 kilometers away in Chicago, protesters, particularly from the Latino community, have been put on edge due to Trump's plan to dispatch National Guard troops and immigration agents into the city. Tensions were heightened after the president posted on social media threatening to step up enforcement. Specifics of the planned operation remain vague, yet a broad coalition of opposition has already formed. Legal action from state and city leaders is now imminent. Jeremy Chu, Cable News.
Over 300 South Koreans are confirmed to be in U.S. detention following an immigration raid on a Hyundai motor factory construction site in Georgia. Seoul called on Washington to swiftly resolve the matter with fairness and ensure progress made in their bilateral ties remain unaffected. Jamie Liu reports.
The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement released a video of Thursday's raid into the plant site, a joint venture between South Korean firms Hyundai Motor and LG Electronics. Citing factory workers, CNN reported that nearly 500 officers swarmed the site at the start of the raid, cordoning off the area and blocking nearby roads. The agents then lined up workers along the walls, asked each of them for social security number, date of birth, and other identifying information. Workers found to be legally employed received a piece of paper stating clear to depart. Witnesses said the raid prompted some workers to scramble for escape, with some running to a sewage pond and others hiding in air ducts. Homeland Security officials said after months of investigation, they executed a federal search warrant as part of an active ongoing criminal investigation in collaboration with other law enforcement partners. They said while the U.S. welcomes foreign investors, this operation sends a clear message that those who undermine the American workforce will be held accountable. South Korean Foreign Minister Cho Hyun confirmed that among the 475 arrestees, more than 300 were South Korean nationals. Cho said he would consider visiting the U.S. to discuss the matter with the Trump administration, while consular officials in the U.S. have started meeting and checking on the detained citizens. Meanwhile, diplomats from both nations held a phone call to discuss the arrests. Seoul urged Washington for a swift and fair resolution to the matter and stressed that the two countries need to maintain momentum for trust and cooperation built during their leaders' recent summit. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
That's our news tonight. I'm Cheryl Yun. Thanks for watching and good night.